They hired a big movie star, Arnold Schwarzenegger, to take my place. And we know how that turned out.
I have a great idea. Why don't we switch jobs? You take over TV because you're such an expert in ratings.
Ever bet against Trump again. And I want to just pray for Arnold, if we can, for those ratings.
Arnold Schwarzenegger just called Trump the worst president ever, and that's not even the spiciest part of his takedown. The Governator didn't just criticize Trump, he offered to trade jobs with him. Can you imagine Trump trying to boost TV ratings while Arnold runs the country? It's like a bizarro world where the Terminator saves democracy, and the reality TV star gets terminated. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. Do you recall when Donald Trump and Arnold Schwarzenegger were best friends? Yes, just like Trump's natural hair color, those days are over. Imagine Arnold making jokes about Trump's notorious do at the Republican National Convention in 2004.
They hired a big movie star, Arnold Schwarzenegger, to take my place. And we know how that turned out.
I have a great idea. Why don't we switch jobs? You take over TV because you're such an expert in ratings.
Trump is likely furious beneath that golden mop, but everyone is laughing, so it's all in good humor, isn't it? When we fast forward to 2016, Arnold's singing abruptly changes. You can practically hear the record scratch as he declares that he cannot vote for Trump. It appears that there is trouble in the land of muscles and spray tans. Trump doesn't take this lying down though, because he is Trump.
The ratings went right down the tubes. It's been a total disaster.
And I take over your job, and then people can finally sleep comfortably again.
He has Twitter skills, and he doesn't hesitate to use them. He begins tweeting about Arnold's Celebrity Apprentice ratings rather than, learning how government functions or managing the nation. Presidents should be concerned about that, after all. Whether or not people are watching D-list celebrities try to sell lemonade is more important than the economy or foreign policy. However, Arnold, our boy, is not going to give Trump the final say. He responds by telling Trump to stop worrying about some pointless TV program and instead concentrate on leading the nation. Burn. Watching two bodybuilders quarrel over who uses a better spray tan technique is like that.
Ever bet against Trump again. And I want to just pray for Arnold, if we can, for those ratings.
President Trump sought to overturn the results of an election, and of a fair election.
Arnold's criticism of Trump grows louder as his presidency progresses. He seems to be channeling his inner Terminator while wielding a megaphone. I'll be back with more sick burns. You can practically hear his distinctive accent as he says it. Their friendship will be deader by the end of Trump's term than his chances of receiving a Nobel Peace Prize. Angry tweets and viral videos are used in place of paparazzi photos in this classic Hollywood breakup story.
He sought a coup by misleading people with lies. My father and our neighbors were misled also with lies. They're complicit with those who carried the flag of self-righteous insurrection into the Capitol.
However, people, this split was only the start. I'll tell you what, watching Arnold go all Terminator on Trump is more entertaining than watching him attempt to close an umbrella. Who knew that one of the most ardent supporters of democracy would be the man who once portrayed a killer robot from the future? So, people, do you recall the time when Arnold was simply showing off his muscles on the big screen? As it happens, he has also been spitting some serious political shit. It seemed as though someone had traded in Arnie's protein shake for a can of whoop ass when the Capitol riot broke out.
It was a night of rampage against the Jews carried out in 1938 by the Nazi equivalent of the Proud Boys. They did not just break down the doors of the building that housed American democracy, they trampled the very principles. But the mob did not just shatter the windows of the Capitol, they shattered the ideals we took for granted.
It was time to put an end to some lies, according to our favorite Austrian oak. Imagine this, a video that hits harder than a predator punch is released by Arnold, who is most likely wearing his I'll be back pajamas. He goes all kindergarten cop on Trump, but he's teaching a president instead of children.
Now, I grew up in the ruins of a country that suffered the loss of its democracy. Wednesday was the day of broken glass right here in the United States. The broken glass was in the windows of the United States Capitol.
Schwarzenegger doesn't play around anymore. He likens the Capitol riot to Nazi Germany's Kristallnacht. It's quite a task, even for Mr. Universe. There's more though. Arnold tells a tale about his father, a Nazi party member. In essence, he's saying, "You fools, pay attention. I've already seen this awful film, and the sequel is even worse." However, a Schwarzenegger video wouldn't be complete without some props, would it? Thus, he draws his sword in typical Conan fashion. Because, am I correct, nothing says I'm defending democracy like brandishing a massive piece of overcompensation.
President Trump is a failed leader. He will go down in history as the worst president ever. But what are we to make of those elected officials who have enabled his lies and his treachery?
The actual hasta la vista baby moment then arrives. Trump is referred to by Arnold as the worst president ever and a failed leader. Aw, that must be more painful than having a Terminator crush your hand. He seems to have said, "You're fired," after glancing at Trump. Whoops, incorrect catchphrase. Arnold continued after that. He became very serious and pensive, declaring, "I know where lies lead, and I'm not going to let that happen again." He resembles Socrates of action heroes, albeit with stronger biceps.
The good thing is that he soon will be as irrelevant as an old tweet. Patriotism means to stand by the country. It does not mean to stand by the president.
The video went viral more quickly than Trump's spray tan during a downpour. It was all over, and it most likely even entered the golden restrooms at Mar-a-Lago. Like the last piece of pizza at a frat party, people were sharing it. It appears that the Terminator isn't finished with Trump yet, people. It looks like this political squabble will be more entertaining than a big summer movie.
Within hours, the Senate and the House of Representatives were doing the people's business and certifying the election. Now, over the past few days, friends from all over the world have been calling me distraught. And from those days, I remember a phrase that is relevant today: a servant's heart.
Trump has been tweeting a lot, and Arnold has been showing off his political prowess. The worst part is that some people are forecasting even more outrageous outcomes for their upcoming confrontation.
It means serving something larger than yourself. See, what we need right now from our elected representatives is a public servant's heart. We need public servants who will serve higher ideals, the ideals in which this country was founded. We need public servants that serve something larger than their own power or their own party.
Imagine this. Trump chooses to lift Conan's sword in an attempt to demonstrate his strength against the Austrian oak. Imagine how difficult that heavy prop would be for the orange one. It would resemble a child attempting to grasp Thor's hammer. What a comedy treasure trove. Jokes aside, however, this continuous back and forth between Trump's team and Schwarzenegger demonstrates that neither side is giving up. Democracy is at stake, and it's like an endless political arm wrestling match. So, everyone, get your popcorn. The upcoming episode may be the most absurd yet, but this show is far from over.